I can believe that. Well, hello there, darling. I'm Daisy. Who might you be? Oi, Frank, I've got a bone to pick with you. Frank? Frankie? Are you deaf? I'm talking to you. My name is Francis. Francis. Not Frank. Not Frankie. Francis. Excuse me, Francis. Next time you decide to throw a hissy fit overtaking a goods train, do it away from engines who are trying to sleep. Here, your reaction was utterly juvenile. Well, it's incredibly degrading that an engine of my stature is forced to pull dirty trucks from dirty sidings. It would ruin my image. Your face already did that. My, aren't you a vulgar specimen? Nobody's talking to you, strumpet. I rest my case. It is absolutely intolerable. I shouldn't have to work under these conditions. I broke the express record from London to Edinburgh, after all. That doesn't mean you're exempt from doing the work assigned to you. Have I not done any of the jobs assigned to me? No, but you constantly complain about it. I was very much like you back in my youth. I whined whenever I had to do anything that didn't involve pulling coaches. This put me at odds with everyone. Don't make my mistake. Don't worry, Gordon. I'll never throw myself into a ditch to avoid work. That never happened. Most events in the Railway series are purely fictional, if you say so. Oh, James, I have some information you may find interesting. That goods train I had my hissy fit over contained a large consignment of bootlaces. Blow out your radiator, spam can. Goodness me, are all steamies like that? Based on my experience, yes. Everywhere I've been in Britain, they've given me naught but contempt. Since you asked that question, can I assume you're fresh out of the works? You can. This is my first assignment. I'm keen to do a good job, but I'm concerned these steamies will affect my performance. Don't worry about that, my dear. I've been in service for several years now and have carried tens of thousands of passengers. Follow my lead and you won't go wrong. I wish I could say here's a... Your what has jammed? My reversing gear, which is ironically stuck on reverse. I won't be able to move forward until it's repaired. Of course I can't take my next train in this condition. Can you cover for me? Is it coaches or trucks? Trucks. Puh! I won't go! Fine, but remember what I told you about Sir Topham's other arrangements? Oh, all right, I'll do it. But under protest, that's to be expected. Get me out! Not a hope. You're stuck. Shut up! Shut up! This isn't funny! Yes, it is. It is true what they say. Laughter is the best medicine. And for the record, I give that dive a 3. No, on second thoughts, a 2. Ooh! How humiliating. Shunting dirty trucks filled with dirty coal into dirty sidings. What a waste of my talents. Same bollocks, different day. I wouldn't expect a lowlife like you to understand, James, but engines such as I are above certain jobs. I swear, if I ever meet the tosspot who designed you, I'm gonna kill him, if you say so. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll be on my way. Actually, Francis, there's been a change in the schedule. James will take your train the rest of the way. I need you to cover for me. And why is that? Has your reversing gear jammed again? Oh dear, I really pity you, steamies. There is so much that can go wrong with you. I assume your next train is trucks? Specifically, those ones. The Flying Kipper? Surely you jest. Surely you go. Oh, fine. Fish. I can smell it from here. How does it compare with ditch water? Very droll, James. Perhaps I... Again, Francis? I'm afraid so, Robert. I had to thrash myself to get here on time. That was bad enough, but the situation at Wellsworth was intolerable. Do I dare ask?
Attention! Attention! You, Francis, where have you been? This train should have arrived 10 minutes ago.
I'm sorry, but I've been having mechanical issues, and the workmen have been rather negligent in fixing me. It's always our fault, eh, Frank? Never ends right, Eddie. You sure you're not a steamy, Francis? The amount of heat you're putting off feels like you have a firebox instead of a motor. The only fire here, I can assure you, is the one I will light under your heels if you don't get a move on.
Ooh! Built up! Just fix this span can so we can get out of the way. Thomas, the moment he's gone, grab that tanker and head down to Brendam.
Yeah, I know what I'm supposed to do.
Do not take that tone with me, Corporal, or I'll have you shunted for insubordination. I'll also have you shunted if you don't deliver that fuel on time.
I'm always on time, and you know it.
I only know what I can see, and I have seen only idleness from you Sudrians. How you can be considered the shining star of British rail is beyond me.
It's because we do our jobs without acting like tossers. You should try it sometime.
That's enough, Corporal. You have your assignment, so get some smoke in your funnel and some steam in your pistons. Mobilization, that is what I want, mobilization!
God, to think there was a time when I used to complain about the middies being pillocks. Did you really need to include that? You asked Donald. God, Benson, I can't stand that khaki cad. What an insufferable bore he is. I would do anything to avoid another encounter with him.
All right, you can do the scrap work then. You'll fit in well amongst this junk.
Very droll, Henry. Oh, the shame of it. Give it a rest, Frank. My name is Francis, you cretin. Seymour, can you please bolt a metal plate over his mouth? I already tried. I couldn't find one big enough. Very droll, Mr. Phillips. I shouldn't have expected sympathy from lowlifes like you. By lowlifes, you mean blokes willing to do their jobs? I mean those without self-respect. You're content to handle dirty trucks because you don't aspire to be any better. And how would pulling coaches make us better? They would endow you with a level of prestige unattainable through goods work. How many truly famous freight trains can you name?
The Flying Kipper.
Ah, Sir Topham, just the man I wanted to see.
You can save your breath, Francis. I'm not taking you off goods trains.
But, sir, this is intolerable. I was not built for such degrading work.
There is nothing degrading about doing your job,
even if the task in question is beneath me.
Because you're an express engine? So are Gordon and Reginald, but they pull the occasional goods train.
The operative word being occasional. I've been handling trucks for the past week.
And how long has it been since you pulled coaches, Barry?
I don't know, sir, but I'm happy to do whatever you need.
That's good, because there's an upcoming rail tour in need of an engine. You want the job?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. What? Why does he?
Because I reward good behavior. And if you open your mouth again, you'll be handling trucks from now until Christmas. Do you understand? Wise decision. Now, changing the topic, James, you'll never guess who's coming for a visit. Mr. Woolley.
Really? That's great. Who's Mr. Woolley? Bernard Woolley. He used to be Sir Topham's deputy before he was transferred to head office. Failing upwards, I called it. What's the occasion, sir?
A holiday, I imagine. He's due in on the 11:30.
Then you might want to know, sir, that it's 11:20.
Thank you, Mr. Phillips. I'll head over to the platform. Excuse me, gentlemen.
God, the absolute nerve of that man. I think he revels in my humiliation. Is he always like this? No, sometimes he's a real git. Very droll, Jane. Oh, shut up! Bust my buffers. I don't think my generator can take much more of this. I'm too ticked off to be tired. We've had to put up with some bollocks over the years, but this takes the cake. Indeed. What really annoys me is none of the fools behind this blunder will face any consequences. Yeah, they'll probably get promoted. You know what's funny? When they announced the ban, my first thought was typical head office, as it sounds like something those tosspots would do. You know, I used to work at head office, don't you, Boko? I'm sure he realizes there are always exceptions to the rule, don't you, Boko? Right. Well, you'll be happy to know those exceptions have been battling it out with the Department of Transport to amend the ban so non-faceless steamies can go back to work. Unsuccessfully, I assume, sir? So far, yes, but like anything to do with government, these things take time. And while they're all gabbing, what are we supposed to do, sir? Keep running ourselves ragged? Hopefully not. The chaps at Crowens Gate have been working around the clock converting steamies. Reginald will be back in service by this afternoon, and I've arranged for a new diesel to join us. A new diesel, sir? Yes, he comes highly recommended. His safety record is a little spotty, but he's a solid performer. I believe you know him, Francis. I do, sir? Well, 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 if it isn't Fast Frankie. Oh, hello, Patrick. This ought to be good. How do you lads know each other? We crossed paths several times on the mainland. Frankie was always boasting about his speed records. One time he overdid it and stalled his engine, so I had to come to his rescue. Emphasis on the one time, and you've never let me forget it, because it's worth remembering. Not only did I have to shift you and your express, but I was pulling a goods train at the time.
Blimey, you must have some strength.
Not to boast, but there are a few trains I can't handle. In fact, I currently hold the record for the heaviest load moved by a single diesel. And you never fail to remind me of that, either. I wish you would refrain from such talk. Arrogance is a rather unbecoming trait. Are you seriously lecturing me about arrogance? Talk about pot calling the kettle. Don't you dare! Don't get yourself into a tizzy, mate. It happens to the best of us. And to you. Shut up. All right, what's this about? If you must know, I've gone past a few red signals in my time. A few? Try 6. 6? Why so many? Half of those were my fault. I didn't brake soon enough. The other half were a technicality. How do you technically go past a red signal? Have you ever heard of a brake tender? Whatever.
You're not angry about it?
Why would I be? Only small minds would be offended by such nonsense, and even smaller minds would be amused by it.
That's surprising. I thought for sure you'd be ticked off.
Is that why you embellished our conversations to the Reverend out of spite? Pathetic.
Are you saying none of it was true?
I'm saying it doesn't matter if it is. As it was back then, I have more important matters to attend to now, like my injector.
What's wrong with your injector?
It's failed, and I can't move as the brakes on my train have clamped on.
Too bad your mouth is still wide open.
Very droll, Bear. How long until you're due to leave?
Thank heavens. Sorry to leave you with him, Reginald.
Don't be. We tend to ignore him when he starts moaning.
Then I'm surprised you listen to him at all. I'll see you again in a few days.
Ta-ra!
Bother!
Hello, Bear. Has it been a few days already?
Oh, shut up. Stupid bloody motor. Talk about life imitating art. You two had the exact opposite issues in the book, so maybe we ought to take a page out of it on how to fix them. You don't mean... I do. Francis, apart from your injector, do you have any other problems?
No.
In that case, here's the plan. I'll couple up to the back of your train, and we'll use my injector to release the brakes. Together, we should be able to tow Bear and the motor rail to Croven's Gate, where you can both get repaired.
Wouldn't it be better to contact the Fire and Rescue Service and let them deal with this, as is their responsibility?
That could take ages. Do you really want to just sit around?
No, but I hardly think allowing two compromised trains to travel together is a wise course of action. Not to mention, I don't think we will make it to Croven's Gate.
Well, I do, and I'm going to contact Control to get clearance.
Go ahead, waste your time. They will never approve such a preposterous idea. I cannot believe this.
Oh, shut it, Francis. And here we go.
Are you sure it was today?
Absolutely. It's not like him to be late.
Indeed. I hope he arrives soon. I wish to congratulate him for his Herculean efforts last week. You haven't done that yet? We have been working opposing shifts, Samantha. I have barely had time to glance at Reginald, much less thank him. I didn't think you would, since you reckoned you wouldn't get to Croven's Gate. And I was wrong, James. I can admit when that happens. Goodness, Francis, are you becoming humble? Don't be absurd.
Wilbert told me about that too. Do you mind if I ask you lads a question? About the war? About Peter. Why? Since the day I was built, I'd been hearing stories about your platoon.
So you know about Peter and the hospital?
Yeah, and when he was let out of Railgate, it caused quite a stir. I had hoped to meet him someday, but since that's not going to happen, I wanted to ask you what he was like. Was he a monster?
Depends on who you ask. This has nothing to do with me, James. Maybe not, but you went out of your way to torment him. Well, excuse me for not being kind towards the convicted war criminal.
He served his time.
And that makes everything better. I recall hearing you weren't too fond of his return, Gordon,
but I came to terms with it, and he expressed genuine remorse for what he did. For God's sake, he pled guilty at his trial.
Again, does that make everything better? I'm appalled by how willing all of you are to turn a blind eye to the murder of innocent people. Is it because they were the enemy?
We were at war, Francis. You can't understand what it was like.
Oh, yes, you were just following orders, doing your duty, and all that rubbish. I'm sure the soldiers of the Third Reich said the same thing. You tosser!
All right, never mind. Let's drop it. Forget I brought it up.
I agree we should end this conversation, but let me answer your question. Peter was not a monster. He was a good man who did a terrible thing. Just when I thought my day couldn't get any worse.
Nice to see you too, Francis.
Oh, God, don't tell me you two know each other. Would that I could, James, but Desmond here was one of the most unreliable diesels I have ever known. He was always late because he was constantly breaking down. He was the Derek of the southern region.
And now I've gone from failure to record holder.
Wait, that was you? Your name wasn't mentioned in the paper.
I don't know why. I told the reporter what it was. This makes it so much better. I actually get to see your face when you find out it was me.
Is that why you're here? To gloat?
No, I brought in a passenger train from London. Ever since I set that record, I've had my choice of assignments. Sounds like your career is really taking off. Congratulations, Desmond. Thank you, Henry. Oh, and Scott sends his regards to all of you.
You know my brother?
I recently had the pleasure of meeting him. He congratulated me for my record, and I thanked him for being an inspiration. He was grateful I took it in stride, said I behaved so much better than my predecessor.
So you've met Scott as well? Yes. It was shortly after I broke his record. I said to him, in jest of course, that I'm the real Flying Scotsman. Very droll, Francis.
Honestly, Francis, is there anyone from the mainland you haven't ticked off?
I hope not. I would hate for anyone to feel left out.
Well, it looks like you've finally received your comeuppance. Those are some fine-looking trucks you have there. Are they first or second class?
I wouldn't expect you to understand, Desmond, but being able to pull coaches and trucks without breaking down makes one a really useful engine. Wouldn't you agree, James? I would if your injector hadn't failed recently. Then there was your cooling system before that.
And your fuses before that. And you have the nerve to call Derek a failure.
Ugh. All right, that's it. I can't take it anymore. If you're going to have a hissy fit, can you wait until after we've left? I am not going to have a hissy fit, James. I am going to do something I should have done a long time ago. You wanted to see me, Francis? Yes, sir. Thank you for coming. Look, if you're going to gripe about tomorrow's fuel train, no, sir, I am not. I would like to request a transfer. A transfer? What brought this on? It's been a long time coming, Mr. Watson. I once told Sir Tom that there's no place for me here. I'm afraid that hasn't changed over the subsequent years. And do you ever wonder why? No, sir. I know it is largely of my own doing. I've alienated nearly every engine on Sodor, and I take full responsibility for that. I actually admire your self-awareness. Have you thought about trying to fix it? Not really, sir. Given how much the others hate me, I don't think they would be receptive to reconciliation. I certainly wouldn't in their place. But setting all that aside, I feel wasted here.
What do you mean by wasted?
I mean I should be out there gliding through the British countryside delivering passenger trains between cities. Instead, I'm confined to a single island hauling trucks and the occasional commuter service. It's all so unsatisfying and frustrating. I understand Gordon was built for a similar reason, but he's never complained about his situation.
Be honest with me, Francis. Does this have anything to do with a desire to reclaim your record?
No, sir, but it has made me realize how much I miss my life on the mainland. I need to be out there, Mr. Watson, so please, will you approve my transfer?
I'll think about it. So I heard you might be leaving us.
I'm sure you were devastated by such news.
Oh, absolutely beside myself. If you are going to be transferred, we should finish our discussion.
Is there really anything to discuss, Derek?
Since you still think I'm a failure, I would have to say yes.
I don't think you're a failure, Derek. Not anymore. Failures are turned into scrap, not fire and rescue chiefs. You've come a very long way since your early days, and you should be very proud of that.
Oh. Well, thank you, Francis. I'm surprised to hear you say that.
All I did was tell the truth, nothing more. As for my attitude at the harbour, that was nothing more than a spiteful retort, and I'm sorry about that.
Apology accepted. Now, what about everything you said during my early days? Are you sorry for any of that?
To be honest, I don't know. I mean, at the time I was right. Even you agreed with me.
That was before I knew better. I used to think my problems came about from not working hard enough, but we were both wrong. It isn't my fault the men who built me were idiots.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Fine, Derek. I'm...
Tosser. Anyway, I'm on fire! What? There's smoke coming from one of your tankers. How in blazes did that happen? We'll worry about that later. For now, let's stay calm. I'll call for... Oh dear.
Now can we panic?
No. Uncouple from your train and pull away now. No, we should get this lot out of here.
Are you mad? Why would we do that?
Because we've seen what one exploding tanker can do. Imagine if all of these go up.
My God, you're right. The whole town could be leveled. But where can we take... Wait, the tunnel! We can stash this train inside the tunnel.
Brilliant idea, but I'll handle it. Move aside, Francis.
With all due respect, Chief, no. This train needs to leave now. Walter, you should...
No chance, Francis. Where you go, I go.
Well then, tally-ho!
You didn't hose down the tankers? We couldn't risk it. The flames would have made them extremely hot. If we had sprayed them with cold water, they could have split open. Since they were filled with oil, well, you can imagine. No, it was safer to wait and let the fire burn itself out, which it did. My men were then able to process the scene.
How bad was it?
The tankers suffered some damage, but nothing serious. Likewise with the tunnel. And we found out why your brakes came on, Francis. Your train's EOTD was faulty.
At least my injector didn't fail again. Any idea what caused the fire? I think I might have. I was running late and had to thrash myself to make up for lost time. Maybe a spark flew from my funnel as I passed by. If that's what happened, I'm so sorry, Francis. I hope you know I didn't mean to do that. Of course I do, James.
I have to say it was pretty quick thinking to stash those tankers in the tunnel.
I have you to thank for that, Henry. When you said it made for the perfect shelter, I felt it could contain a threat and defend against one in equal measure. And risking your life to attempt such a feat was very brave of you, Francis. Well done. Thank you, Gordon, but I can hardly take credit. I barely made 50 feet after all. The banker is the real hero here. Unfortunately, we can't reward a ghost for its efforts, so you'll have to do. I'm being rewarded, sir? Yes. Now, before you get too excited, I've decided to not approve your transfer. I've been reviewing your record, and despite many issues, you are one of our most productive engines. Therefore, we need you here. However, I have been thinking about what you said about feeling confined. So, how would you like to handle all of Sodor's motor rail services? You'll be able to stretch your wheels while still being available to help out here. What do you say? I think that's a perfect compromise, sir. I accept. Thank you. And if I'm going to remain on Sodor, I need to be a better engine. So, gentlemen, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for all the horrid things I've ever said to you. My conduct was abysmal, and I have no excuse. Too right. But it's not like we made things any better.
Aye, we gave as good as you got.
Indeed, we shouldn't have lowered ourselves like that.
Why don't we admit we all made mistakes and start over?
I would like that. Me too.
Me 3.
Me 4. So what brought on this desire for reconciliation, Francis? My own mortality. Being stuck coupled to a burning fuel train makes one rethink their life.
Well, I'll make sure you aren't given any fuel trains for the immediate future.
That won't be necessary, Mr. Watson. I'm perfectly willing to do tomorrow's run and any future deliveries.
Really?
Well, you didn't shy away from the kipper after your infamous crash. How could I do any less? Congratulations, Francis. You've finally become a really useful engine, and it only took a near-death experience to accomplish that. Very droll, Francis. Ugh. I also apologize for being so condescending, too.
It's all right, Francis. They're not on fire.
Good. Who knew being a really useful engine made one so anxious? I almost wish the banker would show up and give me a shove.
So do I. I'd like to thank him.
Indeed. Banker, if you happen to hear this, thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Peter?
Hello, Francis.
Walter? Am I seeing things? You and me both. Is it really you?
It's really me, Francis, and I'm really dead. I popped it the moment those bullets hit me.
And you've been banking trains ever since? Why?
I don't know. I have no control over it. I just appear and disappear whenever. What about the memory thing? Are you doing that?
No. I have no idea why any of this is happening.
The best reason I can come up with is I'm being punished for what I did.
It's so tiring, but I guess it's what I deserve. I am a monster after all. No, you're not.
What?
You're not a monster, Peter. You don't deserve this. You also didn't deserve my scorn. I'm sorry for that. I had no right to pass judgment on you, and to whatever force is passing judgment, I dare say he suffered enough. Yes, he did a terrible thing, but it was during a time of war, and he paid for it. But is it enough? After yesterday, it certainly is. You saved an entire town from destruction, Peter. That makes you a hero. You think so? I do. Well done.
Wow, thank you. Blimey, I don't remember the last time I actually smiled.
Huh? What's wrong?
I see something. It's faint. Is that a light? What's happening?
I think you're finally going where you belong. Oh my God. It's beautiful. I'm sure it is. Give my regards to Reginald and all the rest when you see them. Tell them it was a pleasure knowing them.
I will. I would ask you to do the same for me with the others, but you might not remember this.
I guess we'll see what happens. Goodbye, Peter.
Goodbye, Francis.